when you and I were growing up, I'd never heard of ADD, ADHD,
Yeah,
and
neither.
even now depression, anxiety are a lot more prevalent, I guess, for lack of a better word,
Right.
than they were 20, 30 years ago. Is that because things are better diagnosed now, or do we point
I love
to
that.
it?
Yeah, we can see them now. We couldn't see them before.
Yeah, I mean, why is that?
Yeah, I mean that's why there's antibiotic-resistant strains of microbes, because we can diagnose it better. Not because the antibiotics created them. You know, this is the kind of absurdity about this. Literally, we are poisoning ourselves into mass deficiency diseases. And none of these, as I say, like you mentioned ADHD, it's not a Ritalin deficiency, but
Right.
we hand out Ritalin like it is. And the school systems get kickbacks, they get money for kids that are put on it. These things are horrific that occur on the local level, so you see